Dead meme.
Hey everyone, I guess we're going to call this episode 3 of the Let's Play for the sevtech series. We did leatherworking on the tutorial series, so I spent some time and built the teepee so I can sleep at night. We also managed to build some leads and set up some automated wood cutting, so we built that structure over there. A couple friends have arrived and they have decided to just build underneath my house with their chicken prison and Ruro Pente down here. But other than that, I think we'll probably focus on building a automated version regarding the grindstone. So that's not too hard. We're approaching the age where we get real treasure boxes, and hopefully my backpack won't be so full. We'll do some totemics today as well. I'm gonna make some buffalo, so we'll jump into that, and I'll come back when something interesting is on the screen to show you. Alright, so we're down by the water. If you watched the tutorial, you've seen me do this already. I just want to show people some leather working. If you go to the middle of the river, the source blocks won't disappear, and I put my my objects that are involved in 1, 2, and 3, so I can say 1, 2, 3. And then it makes it a lot less tedious to prepare a great deal amount of leather, because I am carrying a lot of rawhide and a lot of hide being ready for curing. So I feel very proud of this. I figured out how to improve our leather proficiency in the last playthrough in the Circle of Friends. So I just wanted to pay it forward, show it to you guys, and we'll show you one with the resin, so it's the same. But we'll see you again soon. Alright, so back to my little running gag that maybe only I think is funny. We're going to threaten the cows with their dried up skins. Here we go. And we'll throw some wet hides in. So that'll take a fair bit of time. I need some more leather to get ready for totemics, but while that's going on, we can prepare for something else. So I've got a nice couple pieces of automation equipment, some hoppers and some shelves. And we're going to get hurt by the base defenses. We're also going to prepare a space for the automated grind wheel and horsepower. So if you're following along in the tutorial, a lot happened in between the Let's Plays, so don't worry, I'm going to cover everything. Don't panic. Even if the friends and teammates advance us, I am going to make sure that you guys can follow along. So the automated horse mod, or horsepower, I believe is what it's called, you'll need to kind of set up a flat space for it, because this block won't function unless the area around it is considered clear. And if I remember correctly, the grindstone is the weird one, the one that's kind of finicky. Area needs to be leveled. So this one might want to actually be one off the ground, if I remember correctly. So maybe, but we'll set up for that. When I get a little bit closer, we'll come back. I don't think you want to watch me deal with this. So we are very fortunate that the region has a great deal number of wild animals, like horses. I find are not always tough, or not always easy to find, rather. So we'll just drag it over here. I'm pretty much ready to start setting up the grinder. And oh, I touched something that hurt me. Oh, my original punji stick. Let's get you out of the way. So with the lead in hand, I believe it's supposed to show you if something's in the way. So let's do that. Let's put something in the way. There we go. So it kind of detects that there's a problem. So, but we're going to do this anyway. So we're going to pop that on the bottom. We're going to take this little hopper, and we're going to create like a little rig up system. As we advance, we'll improve the materials this stuff is made from, but right now, like, we just want to get this piece of equipment running, right? So we've set that up. If I just toss all of my grindable goods in there, it should get started. Or make me a liar, but we'll be back. Alright, so some items do not grind up. So I threw a different flour in there. So I like the shelves for this reason. It's relatively easy to grind things up. And we'll throw in the bone flakes. Like, I've got a lot of stuff that I could toss in here to free up some space. Oh, another friend has joined. We'll check in with him and we'll come back. Well, Akuma does enjoy his hide and seek, but it appears that he's going to show himself to us. Or he's playing hide and seek with me still. So he's not the creep living underneath the house. Well, anyway, he's a good guy. If I can ever get him on voice chat, he may be a little bit camera shy. But he's pretty funny. I think you'll like him if I can get him to go on about his funny metaphors for this game. But I'm going to move on to some totemic. We have cured enough leather that I can kind of move on to do something else that's kind of interesting, so we'll move on to that. So just a couple of things I like to do besides walk into the base defense. If you hold down left shift and right click, you can pick up the thatch, and as long as you don't have anything in your hotbar or have any of it in your inventory, it jumps into the hotbar, and then you can throw it in and kind of use it as like a door. Like at this point in the game, there's no doors available to us. It's kind of cruddy. If there is one, you know, throw it down in the chat, man. Like, we want to know. But so I've created the totemic items. I like to make a little station for things like this. So the drum sits on the floor. The flute goes in there. The book I keep out here. Nighttime is coming, and I am missing one thing, the chime. Yeah, so I'll craft that. I'll come back when it's daylight. We'll do a couple of rituals just for the fun of it, but we'll be back with that soon. Alright, so we've set up to do some totemics. I'm over here away from the animals because they're noisy. I'm probably going to spawn in one of those noise cancellation blocks just so that they're not so obnoxious in the video. So we're going to do the buffalo dance. And so I'll go in the tutorial how to go about doing this, but for the most part, you're just going to start with the drum and then the chime, and then the goal is just to make as much noise as possible. Like, that seems to be the best method, swap between your instruments, but you'll see it. Let's go do it. So we'll hold down, and there we go. So we'll just kind of go nuts until the bar fills up, and 2 of my animals should turn into baby buffaloes. And so that bar at the top, I gotta beat the timer at the bottom. So with multiple people, it is easier. So let's see. How'd it turn out? We definitely got 1. But now I can't get out. Well, I got an issue to deal with. Back in a bit. Alright, so good times, right? We'll just pick you up with left shift and drop you back in. There you go. So that's one way you can deal with animals escaping. When the buffaloes turn into adults, you can't do that, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so we did the ritual again. The steak that escaped died, so I took care of that. But we're going to start breeding these buffalo anyway, because cows, well, we're not going to get rid of them, but we still, we need the buffalo for sure. Oh, and my buffalo left. Alright, so we slept through the night. I just wanted to show off this little decoration we added. Like, I'm not really using this. These are not for function. It's just to kind of add a little bit of flair to the world. And we're slowly putting some thatch on the ceiling. Like, I know these are not like these aren't things that improve your status in the game. At least like they're not progressing you. But when you have like these nice little touches throughout the world, it's a little bit nicer to run around and play in. Like, that's just a personal opinion. But while we're here, it's a new day. We're going to do the Rite of Spring. So we're just going to basically make a bunch of noise. Same general idea, but this time it's sneak with the flute, then the drum. There we go. Oh, I better plant the saplings, because that is the whole reason for this. So most of these rituals aren't too hard. Later on, there's some more difficult ones, like summoning the optional boss. And we'll get the... you can get advanced flutes and things like that in order to help you do those. So we need these saplings to progress. The material is very specific. Actually, let's not do that, because they kind of get really bushy and they'll get in the way of the little road we've built. So the reason we've made these buffalo, we need their teeth for advanced machines. We need the processed wood from those saplings, and that's the only way to get them. You got to do this totem magic. So I get some people don't like the magic mods that much. It's not that hard. I'll cover it with you in the tutorial series. Like, we'll build everything together. I'll show you how to set it up. It'll be easy. But we'll move on to something more interesting. So this buffalo escaped during the Great Prison Riot of the cow enclosure. I respect the hustle. He'll get to live his days out in the glorious plains. So I've been taking advantage of my strainers down on the river there to get me some smooth stone. I built myself a little enclosure. I want to separate the animals. I'm not too sure how much longer we'll keep the cows in this state. Like, milk is, or not milk, I believe it, yeah, actually, I think it's milk, to make some of the cakes in this game, which is another food source. But these buffalo, I need to breed them. I need a whole bunch of them for their teeth. So the way I'm curing these cows, I think I talked about it already. If you just hold down left shift and click on them with the right mouse button, and then do the same thing in the new enclosure, you can pick them up and move them, right? So there's some animals this works with. This even works with some containers, but you can't do it to the buffalo. So that's just something to keep in mind. So what we're after is I need buffalo teeth in order to make a gear. And I need that red cedar that we did the ritual for. The issue with this stuff is you don't always seem to get enough teeth to drop, even if you kill 2 of these guys. So I'm going to allow them to breed a bit. They also provide a great deal of meat, and their pelts are very good for leatherworking. So this is something to keep in mind. I've noticed this a lot in this mod pack. You're kind of waiting for something to develop or grow, or like in the electrical age, you're waiting for like your distillation towers to fill up. It's always good to have like a side project rolling. So I'm going to take all of this bone meal, because I live with a bunch of piggies who keep eating my food when I go offline. And I'm going to make some farmland for us to cultivate some crops on, because we're still mostly foraging. And that's definitely not the way to go when you've got like anywhere from 3 to 5 people on it at a time. So I'll come back. I'll show you some methods that you could use to build like an early game farm, since you can't move water. So I can't stress this enough. These strainer bases are providing me with a great deal of resources I don't have to get on my own. Same with the grinding of the horse, the horse-powered mods. They're chopping a great deal of lumber for me, so I don't have to. It frees me up to do other things. It's just something to keep in mind. Try to keep your woodcutters rolling, your grinder running, just to get that edge. All right, and since we can't move water, we're going to have to go to it. So I've got all this bone meal ground up. This was a method that we learned visiting that farmer. So now I've got 36 blocks of farmland. You have to plant this near water or it will de-irrigate and all the crops in it will die. So this, in the early ages, that's the only farming method available to you. It doesn't take too long after this point. You'll get the ability to use a hoe and turn any land that's irrigated or near a water source into farmland. So like what you're familiar with vanilla Minecraft. So I'm just going to roam around, look for a pool of water, and hopefully I'll have something else to show you soon. Okay, so my totems are just over there. There's a little pool of water here. It's surrounded by sand, but we'll just dig it up and replace the blocks. So the infinite water source system, that's not available to us, at least at this point in the game. Well, you won't be able to do the 4 corners and drop 2 buckets of water in opposing ends. That's not available. But what we can do is we can just dig up the sand, plant this farmland. I am nuts about symmetry in my farmland, so I'm going to definitely straighten it out. There we go. So it's saturating, so we know that it's going to be able to grow crops in it. So just like vanilla Minecraft, at this point, you're not going to see much of a difference. We'll be able to plant like potatoes and carrots and some of the crops related to the mod pack. So like here, we'll start growing some carrots and we'll grow some potatoes. So we'll do 2 rows of potatoes, 2 rows of carrots. Beets, I like to feed those to the farm animals. And we need to grow some more grain because we'll definitely need to breed more of those cows. So for now, just so that we have something producing, I'm going to get them growing here and we'll move them later. So as we get some more farmland, I'll grind some more bones, that sort of deal. And there we go. So we'll let this thing do its thing. We'll be able to create an aqueduct system and move the water that way, but that's a little bit later. It's not too far away, I don't think, but this water is slightly below where our base is, and if I can, I'm going to find one where I could bring the water down to the base as opposed to have to dig a trench, but you'll see that when we get there. So we've set up a little drying station here. There is a piece of equipment called a basin, which we unlock with some channels. When we get to that, I'll probably just add it in here, kind of like an automatic watering system for the leather crafting. It really speeds it up and reduces the cost of the resin and the salt. But we're a little ways away from that. I know it's a little ugly here. I'll probably decorate this. We're not too far away from the next age, so we might get some decorative blocks from another age, and we'll pretty this up a bit. But I just wanted to show you what we're at now. So we're just down by the river where I was doing all my leather, and not much more to say. Back soon. So we've set up a little drying station here. There is a piece of equipment called a basin, which we unlock with some channels. When we get to that, I'll probably just add it in here, kind of like an automatic watering system for the leather crafting. It really speeds it up and reduces the cost of the resin and the salt. But we're a little ways away from that. I know it's a little ugly here. I'll probably decorate this. We're not too far away from the next age, so we might get some decorative blocks from another age, and we'll pretty this up a bit. But I just wanted to show you what we're at now. So we're just down by the river where I was doing all my leather, and not much more to say. Back soon. All right, so we've got our nature's compass out. We're going to do a search for the Darklands. We're going to start getting some materials from a more hostile environment. So we'll right click on it, of course, so we select where we're going, and we'll start headed that way. I would like to cut down a tree and get some tree bark, and I could show you the more advanced treasure boxes. I don't believe it's that far away. Someone in our camp has made a few of the advanced primal boxes. But, we'll see when we get there. So nighttime is falling. I did forget to bring my atlas, but at least I have the compass, so I can just kind of reverse course to find my way back. We're still running toward that Darklands. If we're really lucky, it's not that far away. I've maybe traveled close to a kilometer, but I don't want to fight the mobs that are there, so at nighttime, if I arrive at night, I'm probably just going to hide out for a bit. But, oh yeah, these cool structures. I'm not sure if they have a function besides aesthetics, but I like to steal these torches and stuff and that sometimes to decorate the base, but I'm kind of low on inventory space, so that'll be a project for another time. Alright, so I've made the sleeping bag. You can throw this on the ground and sleep on it. And I have the antique atlas this time. It got a little bit gun shy. I figured I was going to get lost, and then I'd end up dying and losing all my nutrition and whatnot. So I'm just going to poke around a little bit more, see if I can find some Darklands, and hopefully see you soon. Alright, so we got some naturally forming nether portals in this mod pack. This one looks pretty cool. I don't think it matters too much what one you end up going through when you're at that state, but you're unable to access many of the dimensions without completing certain things in the purple line here. So just a nice little foreshadow. One day we'll get to the nether. They did a cool job in there. It looks awesome. It's a way more fun biome than what it used to be. The new nether, it's not too bad, but in comparison, I still prefer sevtech's. It is superior. So I've found the Darklands. I've been running its perimeter to try and map it a little bit so we can make our plan of attack for when we come here to kill the creatures at night. I just always liked the world generation, like just how great of a job all of this stuff has generated. Figured I'd let you see it, and this was what particularly caught my eye, how cool this looks. You don't see this too often in the newer versions of Minecraft, so I feel like we're losing something with the new world gen, unfortunately. This jankiness is significantly cooler than some of the world gen that I see in Bedrock, but that's just me complaining for the good old days. But we'll come back in a little bit. Alright, so I've pretty much mapped it. We found it around here, and I just kind of ran along the edge here near the rivers and hills. So we're not all that far away from our house, or at least where my base is. One of the major reasons why I came here was to actually get some of these trees. But so we'll climb up there. Getting the leaves to disintegrate on these can be a bit of a nuisance. Here. So these trees only grow in the Darklands. At nighttime, the Darklands is a relatively dangerous place, so it's not somewhere to be for no reason in the Stone Age. The enemies hit hard. They've got a lot of strange status ailments like blinds and things like that. And 9 times out of 10, in order to actually find the Darklands, it is one heck of a trip. Like, we got lucky in this seed. It's not like 3 kilometers away, and you're not getting there by like a primitive raft, So I do recommend having the Nature's Compass. I showed you how to make it in the tutorial. And the map, the antique map. I haven't covered that in the tutorial, but that's the very next one. So I'm not sure how much of this you want to watch, so I'll be back with something interesting. Alright, so that was a heck of a trip. I found some interesting yellow trees. That's something to cover later. There's that really cool world gen I found. This is the border of the Darklands, so we'll probably return this way when it comes time to actually do the little raid there. But the prize of the trip is this sapling. We're going to be able to make the better treasure boxes now, and we'll have access to we might even be able to get close to the next stage. Yeah, so we'll have to go back to do this one, and we'll be able to build this treasure box. So I think this is a good place to call it. So that would be the end of episode 3. And of course, I'm new to YouTube, so please give me a like, subscribe, tell me what you like about the series, what you don't like, or tell me something I'm missing, give a tip, whatever. I hope to hear from you. See you again soon.